Welcome, everybody, to Plays and Parlays. I am your host, Wesley, along with my co-host, the Guru, Louisiana T, my dude, VZ, and the man. What's cracking, my dudes? How's everything going with y'all?
Can't complain, man. You know, I'm wearing this ugly ass shirt.
I mean, we gotta make sure
a friendly
wager.
I got to have a friendly
wager right there,
man. It's a little tight on the arms. It's a little tight on the arms. You know what I'm saying?
We bet on the Denver Broncos.
It's a little tight on the arms. You know what I'm saying? But I had to round it out. Yeah, just so you know. No mistake.
He came through, man. He held it down like he's supposed to. We bet, you know what I'm saying? Our friendly wager was we'd have to wear the other team's attire. Denver Broncos came through and did what they were supposed to do, and it made that happen. But I think you guys are going to be picked up some really good players, man. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit later. But we got a lot to discuss this week, man. A little bit of pushback from last week. We did take some L's. I know I took some bad losses last week, man. But we're going to start off with a team right now that I believe is number one in contention for the NFL championship to win the Super Bowl this year. And that is the Broncos are going against the Raiders, man. We're going to go ahead. We're going to start with let's start with VZ, man, since he is wearing a Broncos jersey out here. You are. Let's go ahead and start with VZ, man, with the Broncos jersey. Let's see the Broncos jersey, VZ, real quick.
It's a T-shirt. All right, it's a T-shirt. It was $4 from Shein. All right, that's just so you know. I got the cheapest one I can find that would have fallen pack.
It's fly though. I ain't gonna.
It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little graphic. I'm gonna watch
one that burns easily. One that burns easily.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But how are you feeling about this year's front runners for the NFL Super Bowl?
I really like. I do think that y'all have some trepidation on offense.
Okay.
I feel like if you play a good enough defense, y'all's offense can run into some problems. I trust Bo Nix. I trust him. His receivers are pretty decent. I feel like y'all could use a more reliable tight end and maybe a more reliable running game. The rookie running back is coming along. Was it Harvey? RJ Harvey? He's coming along. J.K. Dobbins is cool, even though he's always hurt. But I mean, it's a decent 1-2 punch. I would like to see a more like formidable person. The offense is where I have trepidation. I don't. Your defense is good. You can cover in the secondary, and you have a good pass rush. You know what I'm saying? Like 9 out of 10, you take people out of running the ball, so doesn't really have to defend the run as much. You can be average in that aspect, and you know what I'm saying. Pin your ears back. You know, somebody got to throw the ball 40 times. That plays into y'all's defense. I mean, this week y'all got the Raiders, so I mean that should be easy. The only thing that would be maybe think about it is because it's a division game, but I think it'll be one of those like, ooh, this is closer than we thought at halftime, and then y'all will win easily. You know what I'm saying? Just because I mean the Raiders just don't have enough. Then they just traded away Jacoby Myers, so I'm like, I don't know who Gino gonna throw the ball. He don't be throwing the ball to the right people anyway, so I don't know who he gonna throw the ball to besides the tight end. I guess Bowers. You know what I'm saying? Like that might be cool, but I mean I don't think that the Raiders is going to have enough. They'll probably make it a game. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably be interesting. You can't never just say straight blowouts for these divisional games. But I don't think they got enough to beat the Broncos this week.
LT.
Yeah, Bowers is a monster. Oh, okay, I will say that. He's coming off of a phenomenal performance last week.
Yeah.
Sure. Defensively, the Broncos are unreal in my opinion. Defensively, I think that's what's carrying the team right now. Offensively, they still haven't even hit their stride, which is pretty scary. If that happens, I think they're the front runner for the title this year, in my opinion. I think they're the best team in the league at this point. After the Colts had to falter, like VZ and I said last week. Shout out VZ, I see you. After that pick we had last week, we even said that, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Colts are terrible.
It's not the demise of the Colts. Yeah.
No, it just means another team's gonna take over that number one mantle. That's it for this point. I think right now the Broncos are the best team though, and I think they win easily this week. I think 9.5 points is kind of crazy in a divisional game.
Yeah.
That's a little much for me. Maybe, I would buy that up to 10.5 personally, but that's just me.
Okay, man.
Yeah, man. I think the Broncos defense is monstrous. That offense is faulty though, man. Y'all should have made a move for receiver or something, or because
I would have liked y'all to get Breece Hall.
Yeah, I like that. I was gonna say that too. Like,
That'd have
like,
been a good move.
What are you going to trade away for him? What would you guys get rid of for
Like
somebody like that?
Give him the
third-round
rookie.
pick.
Yeah, give him the rookie running back y'all got. They get something back and hope, and give him a third or a fourth.
Yeah,
that should have been enough.
It was really like, their team. You guys should have pushed for an offense a little bit more, because y'all was right there. Y'all right there to being, like a team, because the defense has linebackers, edge rushers, corners, safeties.
Yeah.
It's a fully stacked, star-studded defense.
Yes.
That offense just doesn't have one star on it, and I think that's what's going to be the downfall of what everything happens. Like, they have to be coached perfectly. Yeah.
They got a good coach though.
They do.
We got a pretty decent little throw. I mean, passing game too. Bo Nix got 17 touchdowns. Let's not. You start looking at some of the front runners for MVP. Yeah. They only got like 19, 17, maybe 20. I think Mahomes got 21 touchdowns or something like that. No, he's right there in the mix.
22 or something. Stafford leading touchdowns right now.
Yeah, I mean, he may be 21. He may be the one with 21 or something like that. Then. But I mean, that's not too far off from Bo Nix not being that. You know what I mean? From not being that guy who doesn't even have 2,000 yards yet. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit back and act like our offense is, because we've scored, we scored like 12 points, 13 points against the Titans or something like that. We put up 18, barely pulled this game off, had to score 30 in a quarter. They are looking very suspect. I think at the end of the day, them just like, it would have helped to find someone else, but would that have also have put us in a situation to where we're relying too much on one piece versus relying on the whole team? I think right now we have that perfect mix of a whole team. Yeah. We're almost like the Ravens. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about our defense as good as they were back in the day when they had it might have been Flacco, or it might have been somebody else back when they had, what was the one guy's name? I forget his name, man. Dilfer. When we had Dilfer, but I think Bo Nix is better than Dilfer, for sure. Personally. But the offense is kind of like wasn't what pushed the team, more anything else. But we won't sit on this for too long. Let's go ahead and call it, man. Let's go ahead and spin the block, man. LT, who you got on this, man?
Oh, Broncos.
Man.
Yeah, I got the Broncos too. I got them too.
VZ.
I would have liked to see y'all make an offensive move, more realistically, probably a tight end to get Bo Nix a, realistic, like the backup
like
tight
Njoku, like an Njoku.
I was gonna say Njoku, or the dude who Brock Bowers took his spot last year.
Meyer,
whatever, because he was decent too. But with that being said, I still got the Broncos.
All right. I'm going Broncos too. So that's a clean sweep right there. Broncos will probably win that game. Let's move on to the next one, guy. We got the Colts and the Falcons. I'm gonna go ahead and start with LT on this one, because you guys did call that. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and who do you got, LT, in this matchup?
It's it's crazy, because it's not that the Colts are falling down. I think the Colts as a team are still one of the best teams, right? It just showed you how much it matters of what Jones shows up. Right? Is it going to be that old school guy that kind of just throws the ball up for grabs, makes mistakes, or is it going to be that guy that's more methodical and drives down the field and really hits the open targets and the intermediates? You saw those 3 passes that he threw interceptions on were ugly. It wasn't like those were tips or anything like those. Were ugly balls.
Those were on him.
Yes, 1,000%. So, and that's one of those games to where, hey, look, he brings you down and he loses you a game. The Colts didn't lose. He lost that game, in my opinion. Sure. That's a quarterback saying that. So it's and they were playing against a team that had to win a football game, right? And the Steelers. So they got caught at the wrong time. Everything kind of.
It was a trap game.
They only lost by 7, man. They only lost by 7. They're still up there, best 2 or 3 teams in the league. I think they win this easily. The only thing is, this is a game in Berlin. The Falcons and the Colts. I mean, it doesn't matter who plays in these type of stadiums. There's always some sort of grass issue. It's natural stuff.
Let me ask you this real quick.
It's one of those things. It's going to be a low-scoring game, I think.
They did only lose by 7, but they were getting their doors blown off on for the whole. I mean, they had to come back in order to make that even. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm playing prevent on you. So anything you're getting is just like, as long as I can kind of keep you off me, anything you're getting is not really, that's, to me, it was a sickening game. I was kind of mad about that.
But they did a great job of keeping the Steelers out of the end zone, man. And that, I'll get into the Steelers later, talking about that. They cannot finish a drive to save their lives. But they really did a great job of stop. I'm telling you, that defense for the Colts is scary. Man, I think they're underrated, if anything, at this point.
Man, I'm gonna hit you next real quick on this one, but let me just say this at the same time. You gotta look at their wins, man. They beat Miami, they beat Denver by 1 point, which they still won. It's a victory. Tennessee is another victory. Lost to the Rams, beat the Raiders, beat the Arizona Cardinals, beat the Chargers, beat Tennessee Titans, and lost to Pittsburgh. That's not a. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like Denver. That's a high, but that's not a list of victories that you're like, okay, this team is. You basically lost the bottom dwellers. That's probably most of these are sub 500 teams that you beat. Most of them were sub 500 teams. If you look at this list, they probably only played three. I would say 3 teams that are over 500 right now. Possibly maybe 4 top end. But 3, I think it's 3. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't. To me, it just doesn't. It doesn't bode well to me to watch you get the brakes beat off you, and then. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think this was the most impressive game for the Colts this year. Like I knew they were gonna lose, but I was just like, because I never trusted Daniel Jones. I'm like Daniel Jones isn't that guy, but he had a game where he showed he was Daniel Jones, and the team
rallied around him,
kept him in that. They kept him in that by himself, and then now they just got better. Like their team right there, that's gonna make it so like they can have Daniel Jones. They beat y'all.
Hey, I know he's talking about my team. They did beat us. You're absolutely right, Doc. They beat my team by 1 point. They cheated us though, but we're gonna let that go. We're gonna let that go today. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Like I just think that was an impressive game, and they teams going, because now they're going against the Falcons. They're going against another bad team. They schedule whoever made their schedule. Somebody was paid because this is they going against nobody.
Yeah, but they were sorry last year too, though. A lot of times,
it's a number 4 schedule. It's number 4.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much what it is. When you're sorry like this, like they were, like everyone thought there was gonna be the whipping boys, pretty much. We bring Anthony Richardson back, man. He threw. I remember he had a game. He was like 5 for 17, like 60 yards.
That team's very different with him at quarterback this year. Too.
Come on, man.
Very different.
Yeah. That dude is crap. You know what I mean? Like if you call somebody crap, that's him. He's crap. But yeah, okay. VZ.
The Colts, kind of like what Man was saying, I was impressed with them in a loss because, at one point in that game, they was pretty much getting blown out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everything that Daniel Jones could do wrong, he did, and they still only lost by 7 points. I think that goes to show you like how good that team is. That is a really good team that they can withstand and make it through as bad as a performance as Daniel Jones had. I don't think this is their end all. I think they probably go back and make it simple again for him. Like, hey, hit this. I do think a little bit shows there was a little bit of a kind of like a blueprint showing how to beat them.
The slip was showing.
You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit of a blueprint to how to beat them. It's like, hey, if we can fluster Daniel Jones, put 8 in the box, Jonathan Taylor gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna take away that, and we're gonna make Daniel Jones. He gonna have to look like Joe Montana to beat us.
14 rushes for 45 yards ain't gonna win you.
That's what I'm saying. Game. So it's like you took him out the game, and you made them play in a mode to where Daniel Jones has to win you the game.
And they don't run anybody else.
They don't run nobody else. There's no. They have backups, but what's name? He get a bulk of the carries. Yeah. So it's somebody might get. I think the most that somebody's gotten in the game with him playing is like 6. You know what I mean? So it's like he's getting a bulk of the carries. If you can stop him, you stop the catalyst to their offense. Yeah, everything kind of goes off what what Jonathan Taylor is doing.
Well, you saw what happens when they throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't want Daniel Jones throwing the ball 50 times. You want him to take advantage of the defense because they backed up, or because they're backed up a little bit, or they're playing different because Jonathan Taylor is doing well. But like I said, their defense is that good to where they can afford some of those mistakes. Now, at the beginning of the year, they signed Xavier Howard from the Dolphins, and he abruptly retired. That was supposed to be their answer to the other side corner, opposite Kenny Moore. You bringing in Sauce that's I don't think people realize how huge that is. Just off reputation and aura alone.
Hey, we've been killing Sauce. You guys have been killing Sauce on this show. I have to say,
but he's on a different team. He's gonna plug into what they need. You know what I mean? Kenny Moore is already good on the other side. Now you got lesser players lining up against Sauce. You got number 2s that are going to be lining up against Sauce. So you're going to be he's going to take away, and then off reputation alone, just from stats and numbers, the dude's made 2 All-Pros in what, 4 years?
This year he's been playing good too. He's been actually playing.
He's been playing pretty decent. He's been kind of having a bounce back. I think somebody got with him about his hands, and so he don't get as many PIs and like holdings. But I mean, that was an excellent trade for them. They kind of swung and they got rid of some picks for it.
Good?
Yeah,
his numbers. Terrible. No, his numbers though. He's first.
I think his numbers are good. He's making some good play. He's just getting beat on the.
His beats are bad. His beats are bad, but his metrics aren't bad when you look at the numbers.
If you had a decent team,
but he doesn't have help.
As much.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. He would look a lot better on a team like the Colts, and he happened to go somewhere where they had a glaring need for his position. I think that the Colts are going to win this game. It'll be back to normal. I think Daniel Jones probably barely eclipses 200, and this is a Jonathan Taylor game. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just all tight ends and checkdowns. I think they're going to simplify the playbook to take the ball, to take decision-making out of Daniel Jones' hand. The Falcons is up and down. You don't know what defense you're going to get out of them. One week their defense looks great. The next week they look horrible. I think the Colts is going to win this one pretty handily.
Man.
I already went.
Did you already go? Okay. All right. So me personally, I'm taking the Colts, even though I'm hot at them from last week. You know what I mean? They really let me down last week. You know what I mean? I felt like they showed their true colors at the end of the day, because if you cannot beat the Steelers, and the Steelers are not that good, you're not an elite team to me. They were down like 24-9 at one point in time or something like that. And that's why he threw 50 times. Because at the end of the day, and it was like the third quarter or something like that. You're down that much, third going into the fourth quarter. That's probably where all the bulk of the remainder of their points came from, was just junk time, trying to catch up, prevent defense throws. You know what I mean? That's why you had 342 yards. I mean, three interceptions is not going to do it. 45 yards on the ground by your lead running back, by your elite running back, is not going to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Colts. We'll run this one. Let's spin the block real quick on this one right here. LT.
Yeah, it's in Berlin. I'm going Colts.
Man.
I got Colts. Falcons is trash.
Veezy.
I got Colts by at least probably 17.
All right, I'm going Colts as well. We're gonna spend these 2 next games. We're gonna spin the block on fast, and we're gonna come back in with you, man. We got the Browns and we got the Jets. Veezy.
I think Browns is gonna win this game by default. They have a better defense. Although I do like what the Jets did, and a lot of people don't like what the Jets did. I think that they set themselves up pretty well. They're gonna have to swing on a quarterback in free agency. There's none coming out in this draft. They're gonna have to draft well to put people around their quarterback, and they got the draft capital to do that. I really like Aaron Glenn as a coach. I really like him, and I think that they can muster up some stuff and probably be decent. But this season is a wash for both of these teams. I just think the Browns have a better defense, so I'm going with the Browns.
Man.
I got the Browns. I think I'm only mad if the Browns didn't trade Shador. I wanted them to do that. Send them to Raiders or something. But Raiders, I got the Browns.
LT. I think LT might be frozen. He'll be right back with us, though. I'm gonna tell you who I got real quick while he unfreezes right now. I got the Jets. I hope they win. You know what I mean? Like, that's just me. I just hope the Jets win. I hope they I hope they blow the Browns out. I got my own selfish reasons for that, but I'm gonna go with the Jets. I think the Browns are crap. Their defense is really good, though. I gotta admit that much. LT.
Yeah, I don't think the Jets are going to be able to move the ball. What do they normally get? 50, 60 yards a game this year? And they're playing
who their quarterback is, too, at the same time.
Not going to go well.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, they got Justin Fields. They're crap. All right, next game here. Spin the block real quick. We got the Saints and we got the Panthers. LT.
Panthers.
It's your year, man. It's your year to go through it, man. It's just your year. That's it.
You know, I'm gonna go with the Panthers. We already basically screwed ourselves. We got rid of Shaheed, which is, in my opinion, our best receiver, because Olave can't catch a cold at this point. Yeah. It's so bad. Like we're in shambles, absolute shambles in New Orleans. We have our roster's awful. You don't even know if Kellen Moore's a good coach or not. That's how bad the
Yeah,
roster
really, you
is.
don't. Yeah.
It's so poor. It's got to be the worst in the NFL. So, and Carolina is actually playing well above their roster, in my opinion. So it's Carolina should win this game by at least 10, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be a closer game just because of the fact that it's a divisional rival. It always ends up being a 3-point game between these two, even when Cam, all those guys were there. It didn't matter. So I think this is going to be a field goal game that's going to go the way of the Panthers. This should be a pretty cut and dry one.
Amen.
Yeah, Saints is trash. I feel like they should have traded more players away. They got too many young, good, nice things on their team to even keep. It makes no sense. I
just
got
our best one. We just wanted to get rid of our best one.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody else
got rid of everything. Should have had a garage sale.
VZ.
I'm mad at both of these teams, to be honest. The Saints, I felt like they should have just cleaned house and they should have just dumped everything out. Because to the point where LT was saying, you don't know what you have in Kellen Moore because he don't have nothing to work with. Alvin Kamara is completely unmotivated, and I don't think he wants to play. Yeah, I think he realizes like this is trash. I don't want to do this. I'm getting paid. I'm gonna just collect my money. I think that they got a deeper problem. I think the roster construction is just bad. I think they should have traded away some people. I'm also mad at the Panthers because they should have been giving Rico Dowdle the ball. They should have been doing that. And I personally think that they should have traded Chuba Hubbard. What's the point of keeping him? He took that man's job, and he's better. He works better in your system. He is the catalyst for their offense. If he gets going, that makes Bryce Young look 10 times better because now you have to worry about Rico. I think that Rico is probably going to get off this game against the Saints, and I think that's going to push them. I think they're going to win probably by like 10. I think they are going to win by 10. I don't think it's going to be that close because I don't think nobody on the Saints is going to stop Rico. And offensively, they don't have nothing to be on the field long enough to keep the defense off to be fresh enough to stop Rico. So I got the Panthers.
I got to be legit, man. The Panthers have put me on notice, man. It was a crazy situation. I didn't think that they were as good as they are, but I mean, they've been showing up in close games. They beat Dallas. They came back and they made the victory last week as well too. It just, to me, I'm like, I didn't think they were this good. I think Bryce Young, he's really a serviceable quarter. He's playing serviceably. He's not. It's not him. That's making this happen. But he's not turning the ball over that much either. He's not putting his team in a bad position, which is good. But so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. Let's see where this goes with those guys right there. Hopefully they got a really good receiving young receivers on that team. I like to see flourish. That's Jimmy Horn, that Texter, whatever. McMillan, what's his name? I like him as well too. So I would like to see that team a little bit more on television so I can get a better understanding of what they are for real. Next game, man. We're gonna go with you, man, for the first game. Next game, the Patriots and the Buccaneers.
Patriots and Buccaneers. Both teams, this is a really good game. But it's gonna be good quarterback play. I liked Baker still. Baker ain't been having a little Baker magic he did, this whole season, but I still really like his game. Drake May has been so under. This is like two most underrated quarterbacks, going at it right now. The Patriots team, they're kind of selling a bunch of things that I feel like are good pieces, they're getting rid of. So I don't understand, some of the moves they've made so far because they haven't made things to improve themselves. They've only gone worse. But man, I love the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers for that one.
All right, VZ.
I really like Baker's boxing. He's a dude that you want on his team. You know what I'm saying? You want on your team. He's a natural leader. He's gonna do it with a little bit of swag, which I don't mind. You look numbers wise though. I mean, I know we was talking about Baker for MVP. Drake May's numbers is better across the board.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I think it's because Baker does it a little bit louder, you know what I mean? To draws a little bit more attention on him. Mm-hmm. The difference in this game to me is probably going to be the defense, and I trust New England's defense a little bit more than I trust the Bucs defense. I feel like they're set up a little bit better. I don't think it's by much, but I like what Vrabel is doing with the Patriots. That team is getting built like teams that he played on and he won on. And I think that's what he knows, and that's what he's trying to. Because I mean, we looked at the Titans; they had dude at quarterback who followed when he coached them. Dude at quarterback who followed the rules. Don't turn the ball over. Good running game in Derrick Henry. Excellent defense. And I think they're discovering. They're trying to figure out their running back situation. But they have a guy at quarterback. I think they should get Trayvon Henderson the ball more. Even though the other guy that played, the other rookie that played, he had he had a pretty good game too. I think that with that being said, they probably should have moved on from Stevenson, Ramondre Stevenson. I feel like that could have been, they could have got maybe, 5th, 6th round pick or something for him to just help get you assets for Drake May and, build that team offensively. Stephon Diggs is a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have maybe 2 years, in the limelight, and like prime Stephon Diggs over there. I'm going with the Patriots with this one, just by an edge though, because I trust their defense more than the Bucs.
LT.
Yeah, that's the matchup this week for me. This is the key matchup in the NFL, in my opinion. I do think Baker has been playing lights out most of this season. I think the last couple of games, maybe you're starting to see some injuries at wideout kind of hinder his game, is what it looks like. Maybe he's trying to hold onto the ball a little bit too long and make things happen instead of running when he normally would. There's just certain things you look at when I look at this team, though. I really like the receiving core, even without Evans. To be honest, I really like the way they play. They get open. They have great hands. They have a deep threat. They have a great intermediate threat. Patriots defense is really good. All right, that's the first thing you say about the Pats, right? Because Drake May, to your point earlier, great numbers. They're just not eye popping at you on the screen, right? The way he does it is more methodical. So I do think they are going to score a lot of points. I think this is going to be an over, in my opinion. This isn't going to be a low-scoring game like it normally would be. I really think the Bucs are going to outscore the Patriots, though. I know the Pats have a great defense, but I'm going with Baker's moxie in this one, okay? Because he's playing at home. He's the cockiest quarterback in the league. All right, there's no disputing that. I promise you, the dude is just cocky, but he's earned the right to be that. And he's going to earn it again this game, because I'm telling you, he's going to come out. He's going to take that last loss personal. They had a bye week to get ready for this game, and that's going to be the key in this one, is coming off that bye week, giving those guys some extra days to heal, get back through the process, really get back to the drawing board and get back after it. I think Baker comes out and really just rockets this game. So I'm going with the Bucs.
Yeah, it's a tough game for me. I like the way both of these quarterbacks are playing. I like both the quarterbacks, man. And even though Drake May, he's new, but the kid's doing his thing. He's got a 74% completion percentage, man. That's like you're completing 3 out of every 4 passes that you
Methodical,
throw.
Dude. Just
like what can we say about that? I mean, there's not a lot you can't. And I think he has 17 touchdowns right now as well. You're a second year player playing for the Patriots, who were not good last year. Were not good the year before that either. So it's not like, it's not like he had a lot to work with. He came in there. He's actually helping to. Who does he have? Think about it. He doesn't have really a running game.
Well, did they bring back McDaniels as off OC? Is he calling?
I'm not absolutely sure.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Look, he is an offensive coordinator. He's a great offensive coordinator. He's not. He ain't worth a damn as
a head coach. Yeah, he's our head coach.
That's head coach. But he can run an offense, and he's going to milk and get the most out of the quarterbacks that he has there. They don't have like explosive weapons. They don't have nothing that jumps out at the screen. But like you said, it's methodical. And before you know it, you look up and it's like, man, he's got 280 and 2 touchdowns on 72% complete, and he's killing you. You know what I'm saying?
It's all intermediate. It's all intermediate.
All intermediate. Nothing screams at you.
But looking at the kid though, you wouldn't, even with a good OC, you're not thinking that a kid who's this young is going to be as good as what he is right now. And he's like one right now. They're saying that he's in the MVP conversation.
He has to be with those numbers.
100%.
You know what I mean? 74% completion percentage. It's not like he's just dinking and dunking. He throws the ball down the field when he has to. He's actually a good quarterback. Some of the stuff can be taught, but a lot of that stuff he's doing in those games cannot be taught. That's just like pure. So me personally, I'm definitely gonna go with the Patriots. Let's run this around real quick, man. LT.
Pats all day.
Man.
I got the Buccaneers for that one, man.
I was kidding, by the way. It's Bucs all day.
No, I'm about to say.
Okay. VZ.
I got the Pats, man. I like their defense more.
I'm gonna go with damn. I'm gonna go with the Pats too, man. Just to kind of make it even. But I do like I like Baker. Don't get me wrong, but I like this young kid too, man. I've watched him be able to play a few games. This little young dude, he got something.
Nice.
We got the Ravens and we got the Vikings. Let's go ahead. Who started off last time? Anybody know?
I think it was me. It's me.
VZ, go ahead.
Ravens and the Vikings. I think this is going to be a sneaky good game. This game is going to tell me what I need to know about the Ravens for the rest of the season, in my opinion. The Vikings defense is no joke. And then on offense, if worse comes to worse, you still got Justin Jefferson. Aaron Jones came back and had a pretty decent game. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to, get better and back into the groove. Still don't know if I fully trust McCarthy yet, but he won the game.
He did.
The Vikings I really, really, really like the Vikings defense, where they have a fault or a waiver is mobile quarterbacks. And God damn it, you got Lamar coming up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Lamar might have 185 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then hit you with another 80 to 110 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. So it's like, I think that's going to pose a problem for them. And then he gets in the red zone and he fully utilizes his tight ends with Andrews and Isaiah Likely. So I think the Ravens are going to get this one, and it'll be kind of like where the Chiefs were earlier in the year when people were like, oh, the Chiefs are dead. And then Mahomes gets his people back. People start getting healthy and they start playing these, even though last game, they look bad against the Bills. Not bad, but they look like they had some issues against the Bills. I think the Ravens bounce back with this game. I don't think the Vikings have enough offensively to take advantage of the Ravens' defensive woes. And I think Lamar Jackson has one of those games, like the Madden video game number games.
Okay. LT.
Yeah, I think this one is set up for us to say, hey, look, the Vikings are going to win, is the way it looks.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, look, Henry finally showed up too. Let's talk about that, right? You're talking about 19 rushes, 119 yards. Yeah. It's a really good game. That's average and 10 plus, right? So, great job by him. And honestly, the offensive line looked good. I was very impressed with the way that they played last week. Very impressed. Looks like a different team, which clearly they are with the different quarterback at the helm. So, plus, I'm looking at the Ravens' schedule going forward. It's almost cupcake for the rest of the season.
It's set up for them to come back.
Literally, he missed the perfect part of the season.
And it was set up to look just bad enough to where you count them off, and then
But that goes back to last week of why we were saying the Steelers had to win that last game because now they have that two lead going into it. So they have a little bit of breathing room, right? But they don't, because they got to play this team twice. And as you saw, if this team plays to its full potential, to where they actually have that run support going with,
kill the Steelers.
They're going to crush every team they play for the rest of the season. So I really like the Ravens in this spot. I don't trust the Vikings at all offensively, and I think they're going to have a lot of trouble dealing with an actual fresh Lamar. So this is going to be I think it's a bad situation for the Vikings here on out for the rest of the season, if I'm being honest. I'm doing a complete 180 on the Vikings than I started at the beginning of the season. I think they're in deep trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
I think so too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I think what Lamar's about to do is go on an MVP like run. Like he's gonna have like 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, maybe every game. Like he's looking crazy. Like Derrick Henry doing his thing. That's all Lamar right there. Like he couldn't do nothing when Lamar was gone. Derrick Henry. The defense. I'm not sure if they're gonna do well, if they're gonna improve. I just know what Lamar's about to do. He's about to go crazy every single game. The Vikings, man, JJ McCarthy is they could have made some move too. They could have made a move too for quarterback. Yeah, they don't have nothing. I get Justin Jefferson, he's quarterback proof, but man, that if he throws an interception again, JJ McCarthy, not that he throws so many interceptions, but I feel like he throw one every single time.
Throw a lot of interceptions.
Yeah,
he throw a lot of interceptions. Plus, it looked like he's timid to throw the ball down.
Yeah, I'm like, man,
25 pass attempts. Trash. He didn't get 150 last game. Now, luckily, his defense was playing out their mind, and they
3 games. He only broke 150 in one game.
I'm just
he never got 200. I think 160 is like his 160 might be his best. 150.
And that was like the first game of the season.
He's had like 2 140 something yard games, man. Like this dude is crap. Go ahead, man.
I never understood the hype on him coming out of college.
They should have traded a couple more people. They should have traded for a quarterback or something. Shador is always there. I don't understand that. Like Shador is always there. Make that move.
I think that they're at a point right now where that would be regressive, for them to go get a Shador, because you're a playoff contender. Not me knocking Shador. I like him, but he's a rookie. It's like I'm basically giving up on the year to bring in Shador, train him up to get, to get to a point where he's feasible in this offense where they're at right now. You should have gotten that out of JJ if you gave up Darnold, who's over here damn near looking like, might be an MVP candidate.
I think that's what it is. They had so much faith in McCarthy. They drafted him. He was their guy. I don't know why. I'm just saying that they did.
Had to be practice.
If you looked at him in college, he had the potential.
I never thought he did. He was at Michigan where they didn't ask him to do nothing. He was in the same position.
They ran the ball.
He ran the ball. They had playmakers all around him. And he had an excellent defense. And
it goes back to your point about the style of offense he came from, right? And that's kind of what you have to look at. That's the thing coming out of college, man. You don't really know, because you got these kids that are playing full spread or no running back or whatever, right? So then you have this guy who's just running an old-fashioned eye. That's it. That's all they run up there. So they thought that they could be like, okay, great, this guy's programmed for this already. It just didn't work out that way.
I think that they're strapped by having to see if he can work or trying to prove, especially with McConnell as the coach, because he's the quarterback guy. They're strapped to say, like, we drafted him, we got rid of Darnold, we can't backtrack now. We gotta see it out with him and see what we can do. I don't agree with that. I'm probably gonna flip the table and get him out of there.
Monsters, bro. This kid got monster receivers around him.
If you do that and you flip and you get rid of them, you probably gone. You know what I'm saying? As a coach, you probably gone.
You know what? You're going anyways, because he's not going to be able to win games like he won last week.
That's how I would have took it. I'd have
140-something yards, brother. You can't do it, bro. I mean, you got the best. You got one of the best receiving cores. I know that their second receiver is not like on a Pickens level or not like on some of these other second, but they got I think is it Addison or something like that. I forget his name.
Yeah,
Jordan. He's good.
He's nice, good. Yeah. He's even Naylor, the third guy is pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got a great receiver, and they got Hawkinson at tight end. So, like, they're not bad offensively. It's just their quarterback is not the best quarterback for that.
Carson Wentz is better than him.
Carson Wentz is playing better than him.
He's not. He didn't play good his last. Yeah, he did. But his last couple, he had a rough couple starts. His last couple starts are kind of a little bit rough. But I mean, they're at a point right now where
you know who I think that'll play well in that system, and what's name will get the most out of him as long as he can stay healthy. Tua. If you put Tua over there,
Tua's a virus on the team, man.
I'm just saying, you're right. You got to keep him healthy, obviously. But
they can throw that ball. He can spin that ball.
That's what I'm saying. And you give him Justin Jefferson, who's a more complete receiver than Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he ain't better. He's better than I do think he's better than Tyreek. Tyreek is definitely faster, but he's a more complete receiver. So you don't have to bomb every play down the field for him to be effective. Justin Jefferson can catch 16 passes.
I wouldn't mind that, because you're not looking at him as being a leader on that team.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't mind
That's
that.
what I'm saying. But Tua would be like what Daniel Jones is.
A leader to be on that team.
Tua would be like what Daniel Jones is to coach right now on that team.
But Justin Jefferson is, to me, he's a leader, but I don't feel like he's a leader like that.
The leader on that team is going to be somebody on the defense.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
The leader on that team is going to be somebody on the defense.
That almost reminds you of the old school Baltimore teams, man.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you can get now, Tua is a little bit more serviceable than Trent Dilfer was, but if you can get him in that situation, you can get a 340-yard game out of Tua every couple of games. All you got to do is keep him protected and don't let him get hit. You know what I'm saying?
They're same style weapons he has right now, but now he's going to have an actual line. So
he has an actual line. I can see him going there and thriving at least for a year and looking. Everybody's like, "Oh, he is cool."
I don't know how we ain't gonna get into it too much, but I don't know. I watched him play and against Detroit, man. That dude's catching everything.
Catch everything.
He's gonna get himself open. I don't see anybody else in the league who I can say is clearly better than him. I can't even say Chase is better than him. This is my personal opinion.
It's him.
Man's waiting on you to say it. So
I do like JSN. The only reason why I can't
I'm about to say, like, what are we talking
the only
about?
reason why I can't
third or
confidently put him in that thing is because he hasn't done it as long as they had. Now, if he does this again next year, for sure, you have to. Now, if you're looking at just based on the numbers this year, you got to throw JSN as top 3 receiver. You know what I'm saying in the league this year. But
that's crazy.
If you put him in there, he has to do it. I mean, you're supposed to feel like that, man.
He's about to take a couple of passes away, though. I'm gonna tell you.
Hey, so everybody go on this one right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I said, me personally, man, when I look at the game, man, I'm definitely gonna go with the Ravens. I feel like they're playing good right now. I think that Lamar came in with an agenda. He came in mad. He got his team pumped back up like we know who we are. We ain't playing like we are who we are. And they're close enough in their division where they could actually still win their division. You know what I mean? So, but this is an important game for them. It's a must win for them. I think most of the games going for the rest of the season are must win. I think they have 6 losses. Where are they at right now? 5?
3 and 5.
Must wins. You know what I mean? They need to win.
Yeah, they got to win every game.
Yeah, pretty much. Get themselves above that 500.
They got the schedule to do it.
They do.
Spin the block, LT.
Oh, Ravens.
Man.
I got the Ravens. Yep.
Easy.
I got the Ravens.
All right, our next game, man. I don't even want to give this one to you, LT, because it's weak. I'm sorry, I really want to give you something hot right now, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. You know what I mean? We got the Bills and we got the Dolphins. You know what I mean? This is a easy. I already know who we picking here. I like wait, don't even want you to use this one as your turn.
You just want me to go in on the Dolphins more.
You know what I'm saying?
What you want.
It was a game we damn near had to go with, but it's like we all know this, you know. But go ahead, man. I'll come back around to you on something better. Don't get it twisted.
You know, the Dolphins on paper are so much better than they show every week, and again, that has to do with leadership. Really? I'm going to talk to me. It's all about Tua to me. I just don't think he's the leader of that locker room, and that team needs a leader at that position. I don't think they're set up in any way, shape, or form to be good with him. It's not the coach. It's just not. The offensive plays look fine, in my opinion. He's missing throws. He's missing targets. He's missing reads. His drops even look off. Like I said, something seems wrong with Tua, period. And it's not just this season. It's been going for the last 2 or 3. And I get that. Like I said, I think it's regression of a guy that's not used to losing and doesn't really know how to respond to it. Right? He's what did he do? Lose 2 games his entire career before he turned pro? He's just not used to it. So I think you're seeing a guy that really just kind of lost it, to be honest, and really needs to change the scenery. I don't think he's going to be there at the end of this year. I think he's going right away at the end of the season, and it starts today, the end of their season, or this weekend, because they're going to get throttled, and I mean throttled by the Bills. And if they don't, I'm going to be talking bad about Josh Allen. So that team should beat them by 20 plus. And I'm not even being like mean when I say that. That's a close game.
Better happen. Yeah. If it doesn't happen, they're not who they say they. I mean,
I agree with you.
You know, they've already kind of
teams the way you're supposed to beat them in this league. Otherwise, you're not real. And you kind of already saw that with the Bills, right? I don't think they're.
They had a game anymore. That was like,
you know, and even after last week, I don't think they're real yet. I want to see if they can beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and this one is set up to where they are supposed to beat them badly. I want to see that team come out, not the team that's all timid and plays from behind to win the game on a comeback and all that bullshit. I want to see the team that just throttles them. Yes.
Yep. I mean, you know, you want to see Allen come out and throw 3-4 touchdowns and be sitting on the bench by the end of the third, start of the fourth.
Which he should.
Yeah, absolutely. I respect the Dolphins for not blowing up their team, because there was a lot of things that said you could have just done that, like trading Waddle, trading it. Like they could have just traded everyone, really. Like you know, the same way the Jets did. Like I wouldn't have been mad at it. I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's good. That's
I would have said they did good. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like that's a good. I mean, you know, that's a good offensive core to keep together. You know, all you got to do is build the defense. So I think, you know, I like that they didn't do that, even though it didn't, like, losing Tyreek, and you probably don't know if Tyreek even comes back as the same dude. You know, like, their team's gonna be hurt salary wise. You know, like it's a tough thing for them. But their team is garbage. I don't think they should even try to win a game again. I got the Bills. Yeah,
easy.
This game is alarming on both sides of the paper to me. Numbers wise, when you look at it, Tua is only about 60, 70 yards off from Josh Allen's total as far as yards. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, Josh is 13-4 touchdowns and interceptions. Tua is 15-11. The biggest discrepancy to me, the leading receiver for the Bills is Kincaid, the tight end at 4'11", and Waddle has 586. Big play ability, you have to lean towards the Dolphins if they can get those big plays. The one thing that kind of made me look at the Dolphins like, yeah, I think they throwing in the towel a little bit. I know they didn't trade people on offense, but they got rid of Jalen Phillips.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's a good defensive player. Then you trade him to the Eagles. They don't need no more people. You didn't trade them, you know what I'm saying? You didn't trade them to the Eagles. You give them another pass rusher. I think that was just kind of like just take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we're not going to really do anything. Buffalo's defense leaves a lot to be desired sometimes, and they play down to their competition, unfortunately. I think that this will be a game where Tua looks like he can do something. The Bills should win this game. It wouldn't surprise me if it's closer than anticipated and the Bills squeak this game out. But I foresee Tua's gone after this year for sure. I think everybody can agree on that. Tua's gone this year. I think that Kyler Murray comes there and brings a little bit of excitement because number one, I think he's worn out his welcome in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He doesn't fit with their offense. Brissett is running the offense better than he's running the offense.
So let me ask you. So just push back on you a little bit on this one. So why would Tua, who's a little dude but with a bigger arm than Kyler Murray, why would you want to bring Kyler Murray in there and say you bring back say Tyreek comes back next year? He's a block burner. He needs somebody who has an arm enough to get that ball out there to him. This dude can barely get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. He can't even get the ball to him, and he's really a possession receiver with speed as well too. You know what I mean? So why am I bringing in Kyler Murray, who I just watched throw for 198 yards? You know what I mean? And probably does this every game before this. It ain't just this year. In place of Tua, who I know can go out there and get me 300 yards, can throw me a 60-yard, you know what I mean, bomb on the fly, the whole nine. Why would I do that?
Now, respectfully,
of course,
Dolphins' offensive weapons are better than what the Cardinals' offensive weapons are. And then also number two, McDaniels is going to scheme up all type of shit, knowing that he has Kyler who could move. You know what I'm saying? He can actually do something. He can, you know what I'm saying? He can take he ain't granted he's small, but you don't gotta worry about him being in concussion protocol. Exactly. You don't gotta worry about him being in concussion protocol on every third down. Now I think that number one, it brings excitement to the city. It opens up your offense a little bit, and it allows McDaniels to do some of the things that he's good at.
Am I going to be excited about a $200 million quarterback, a 4'8", $200 million quarterback? I'm not. I pay Brissett. I paid him.
You're right. All I'm saying is, as a fan,
it's a possibility.
If it's one game where he throws 300 yards and has 80 yards rushing, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's 10 times better than Tua." You know what I'm saying?
That's not gonna happen. 300 yards throwing. I don't think he's ever done that in his career. I'm just joking.
That franchise needs a quarterback that's a leader, though. And what's his name's not a leader.
Tyler's not a leader either.
I think he's going to bring more of an excitement.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I do agree with you on that.
The excitement factor is enough to have to draw.
I think the best thing that franchise could do at this point, and this is just my opinion on this, at the quarterback position specifically. You draft a quarterback out of this draft. I don't care who it is. Draft whoever and that's my point. I don't think they're ready to start yet. Draft whoever you think is a good project, right? Who's at the end of their career is one of the biggest leaders in the league, in my opinion, in the locker room. He always wins over the locker room as soon as he gets there. Jameis.
I already knew. I knew you was gonna say his name. I knew it.
Jameis gonna
go crazy.
He gonna put it up.
Yeah, he's gonna put points on the board.
He's gonna either win you the game or lose you. But he's gonna throw it 40 times and he's gonna have 300 yards.
Get him a running back. Why don't you get him a running back?
Move. You bring in him for 2 seasons.
Achane is decent, and Ollie Gordon is decent. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think offensively, if Tyreek is healthy, then you got Waller. If he's healthy, offensively, that's a desirable spot to go to if I'm a quarterback.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would want to go there, especially with McDaniels calling the plays. I'm like, okay, he gonna scheme up some.
And they need a vet. They need a vet at quarterback right now. They don't need a rookie. They don't need a young quarterback. They need a vet.
I better not go get a Russell or nothing like that. They better go
I don't think Russ is a good fit for them. Russ isn't a good fit for them. I think they either go with a vet who can sling it, or they go with somebody like Kyler who can move a little bit. That'll be exciting. It's either going to be one of the two. I think the vet who can sling it is not going to appease the masses as much until he gets on the field. Kyler is going to have excitement and sell tickets before he gets there. You know what I'm saying? And
people will be upset with Jameis, but he's going to win more games.
For sure. Depending on what direction you're trying to go, because neither one of them are the long-term answer, in my opinion. Neither one of them are the long-term answer. It just depends on what you're trying to do and what message you're trying to send to the fans that season. This season is done. Next season, are you trying to say, hey, we're going to get all our receivers numbers and this is going to be exciting? Or we're trying to set up for something long-term in the future? I don't know which direction that they're going to go. I just know that owners will bite on people who bring people into the stands. You know what I'm saying? They will bite on that excitement factor more than they will bite on the sturdy option, especially in today's NFL.
Man, did you get a chance on this one?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and spin the block on this, man. LT.
Who are we talking about?
The Bills and the Dolphins. Nobody important.
Nobody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, the Bills.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna assume that Go ahead, man. I'm gonna assume you're gonna hit the Bills on that one.
Man,
anyways.
I got the Bills. I think the Bills. I mean, the Dolphins should have traded Waddle or something. The Giants should have went after him or something, man. Waddle was a trade rumor that I was like, man, any team could go crazy with him.
Him and H.N. I think
Waller. Denver probably could have picked up Waller, but Waller gets hurt. He's hurt though too. I think right now
he does get hurt a lot.
You don't normally see a 2-7 team do nothing.
Right. Yeah. That was odd a little bit. It was odd a little bit.
Easy.
I got the Bills in this, even though I think Waddle specifically will get off in this game.
Yeah. Me too.
I agree.
Man, I got the this is a team that you spoke about earlier in the season, man. And I didn't believe you when you said this team was actually going to be good. This was a dark horse you put out there, and they actually are a solid team this year. Yeah, we got the Giants and we got the Bears, man. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one to man.
Yeah, I think what my like thing is, I like to say like 10 dark horses. Mm-hmm. And then one of them hits. I'm like, hey,
hold on.
I win.
What did I just say? Because the Raiders is not.
One of was going to hit.
I knew it.
Yeah. And I look like a genius. But no, the Bears, the Bears is a complete team, and they're going against a team that all of their best players are hurt,
Hurt,
yeah. But they look good still, though. Like, even, like
decent.
Yeah, they look okay still. But, yeah, I got the Bears.
I'm not gonna let you downplay yourself on this one right here, because you actually that's not just a dark horse to pick. Like, no, the Bears aren't ever good, ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Tough division too. If
Caleb Williams plays a little bit better the game before last, they actually are like they're 6-2 right now, and they're looking way different. They had a chance to win that game. He lost them that game. You know what I mean? Like on the last, just trying to be a cowboy out there. But sometimes you gotta let a person do what they do. But that to me was, they actually are a lot better than what we're even giving them credit for. But I'm gonna pass it on to you, Beezy.
I think the Bears is gonna win this game. I was pretty impressed though with how the Giants played the 49ers, even though the Giants, were both of those teams are riddled with injuries, obviously. In overall construction, the 49ers have a better roster, even with them and all their injuries. I think Jackson Dart this is valuable experience for him.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that he's starting now.
Yeah.
These are the games, win or lose, that he needs to have under his belt. You know what I'm saying? To pull from this experience. Mm-hmm. I mean, Dart is at what? I mean, he didn't start the whole season. He's at 10 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
You got to also look at, they got their starting running back questionable for the Bears. The two number 1 and number 2 receiver questionable right now. Not saying they probably won't go, but that means a lot right there.
On a scale overall, especially on paper, I like the Giants defense more than I like the Browns defense. I mean the Bears defense. I think their front 7 is crazy. If they can get what they can get from everybody. Abdul Carter's been kind of quiet. Yvonne Thibodeau was in trade rumors, you know what I'm saying, before the deadline. You still got Dexter Lawrence. You got a lot of stuff, Brian Burns, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of stuff going on there.
Crazy team.
They got a crazy defensive, like their front 7 and the rotation of guys that they have to put in there is crazy. I really feel like they underperform a lot. Like, you see the team and what they have, and you're like, man, y'all should be killing people on second, third, fourth, whatever down it is. Y'all got people to rotate in and out that are like stars. You know what I'm saying? That at least should be viewed as stars. Mm-hmm. I think Dart has a good game, but I don't think he has enough. A lot of his people is injured. Him and Scatterbo together is a really big thing. They feed off of each other's energy. They play well together. You know what I'm saying? I think him losing Scatterbo, that takes a little piece of soul. That takes a little piece of the soul away from that offense. Absolutely. And a lot of the team, a lot of the defensive players, the veterans, they were starting to rally around these dudes and believe in them. You know what I'm saying? I think now while they still believe in Dart, it helps if you got Scat Pack behind you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That hurts that hurts that he's gone. I think that they just offensively can't overcome that without somebody like Scat behind them. So I think the Bears win this game probably by 7.
LT.
This one's interesting to me because you got a franchise quarterback now in Dart. Right? He is the franchise. New York. And Scatterbo is going to be as well at running back, right? They have their new tandem in the backfield. They're set for the future.
Yep.
They're playing so poorly on the road. They're 0-5 on the road this season. I mean, they're off. They lost to the Saints on the road. Like, they're terrible when they leave that stadium. So, but I was really impressed with Dart last week.
I was.
If anything, the defense, you could throw them out the window. They underperformed, in my opinion. They let Mac Jones really have an efficient game, methodical drives down the field. McCaffrey went off and did his thing. But Dart was right there in the game the entirety. Right, and I say Dart because it was him versus everybody.
For real,
the way it looked. The guy led the team in rushes. He was 56 yards, 8 carries, 1 touchdown, throwing 24 of 33, 2 touchdowns, 191 yards. The kid played phenomenal last week, and they still lost by 10. He can't do it himself. He just can't. If he had Scatterbo, I would say, you know what? I mean, this is a game
might have a chance
for them to win this game.
We forget he doesn't have neighbors at the same time.
He also lost neighbors.
Loss, man.
Like, not only is he a rookie, you have a rookie at quarterback, but you have injuries that are just screwing you right now. So
killing you,
they would be better than they are if they were fully healthy, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. I just don't think they have enough in this game right now. He's going to have to go at it alone. On the road. They're not good on the road. I think you're going to see him play fantastic. You're going to see him have a lights out game. I really do think that. Another game where he's over 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, over 50 yards rushing. I think they're going to have major problems guarding him.
For sure.
But they're just going to run up the score. That's all. Williams is playing on another level compared to what I thought he was at. I thought he was trash. He's playing better every single week. A lot of these quarterbacks, you see regression in the league right now at this point. All you're seeing is him improve from week to week at this point. So I do like him. I like the Bears in this situation. I think they're in a tough division, so I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they're really performing well above my expectations. I like it.
This is a game that I think that it could be close for the Bears because they don't have that. They don't know how to close. Yeah, they haven't figured out how to close. He's still really young, and I've watched him do things where I'm like, man, you can win this game. And Caleb Williams is a capable quarterback. People are not giving him the credit that he deserves. He came into a sorry team. That's why they had the first pick to be able to pick him up. I mean, this is his second year. We can't sit back and just, throw the baby out with the bathwater here. I mean, he's actually shown us a lot to take the Bears. The Bears are never good. No matter what they do, who they get, they're never good.
Defense. That's it.
You know what I mean? Like, and so
at the end of the day, defense is okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think this will be a close game only because they don't know how to win. Once he figures out how to win, they're going to put weapons around him. He's going to end up probably being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The dude, he has the touch. He has all the different tangibles, that really make it.
He's got all the measurables.
Everything. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think eventually, this is not saying right now, give him to he hasn't progressed like a Drake May has progressed, anything like that. But he has like the skill. If he had an OC like Josh McDaniel, one of those guys like that, it would be a different situation. He doesn't have that. I think eventually he'll get to the point where he needs to be. But this could be a close game. But I'm going to take the Bears on this one. Let's go ahead and spin the block real quick, man. I'm going to go with you, VZ, first.
What is Caleb Williams' flaw? I think that he holds the ball too long. And
hubris as well, too. Like him,
he tries
having
to do
a lot of
too much. Now this is why I think
he tries to be flashy, but he's not.
He wants to highlight.
He tries, exactly. He tries to chase the highlight. He tries to do too much. He tries to look for the home run instead of taking the check down. This is why I think it gets tricky. Brian Burns has 11 sacks.
Yeah.
God,
he has 11 sacks. He has 11 sacks, bro. He's already at 11. If Caleb won't take the obvious play, if he won't take the check down, and he's shown that he's prone to not doing that. If he won't take that check down, and Dart don't need no more confidence. If you give him any type of confidence and you keep this game any type of close,
that W.
He's gonna take that W.
By the way, that's 11 sacks when teams are basically running the ball for a whole half of football against you. So
that's true.
He's a dog.
That's what I'm saying. Brian Burns. I think that Brian Burns is going to create a lot of problems for the Bears, coupled with how Caleb Williams plays football. He's going to hold the ball. He's going to pat it a couple times to look for that deep pass because he wants the home run. He wants to highlight. I think the Giants upset in this one, man.
Man.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, man. I think the Giants, they should have traded for Waddle or Olave or, Garrett Wilson or something. I think, they should have tried to help out Dart a little bit more. I hate the way they did that. They're basically just going to wait out this year. They're going to let him develop. But because if you look at the way the Bears had it in Caleb Williams' rookie season, his offensive or his receiving core was like Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze,
they set him up for the best.
Moore, they had so many pieces that they gave to him his first year. This year, they gave more offensive line. They focused on offensive line. Their team has been perfectly built around him, right? And I'm looking at Jackson Dart, and I'm like, man, if they gave him some, just threw it like
halfway,
like a Shaheed. If they gave him Shaheed, it would have been nice. Like they could have just found something. Yeah, they could have found something for Jacoby Myers. They could have just grabbed something just to help him a little bit. But I think that they kind of overlooked that a lot. They mess around and have
a bad season this year. They're gonna get some good picks. Yeah. They mess around, they're gonna get some top picks, man. They can go pick up a sec.
Draft classes. I don't like these draft classes.
But it's not always about the quarterback, though. Sometimes you might find yourself something else, another number 2 receiver or some defense or something else. Often, they don't really need a lot there. Maybe
some of these teams need a damn run stopper up the middle, man, because that's what's missing now. Good Lord.
Speaking of that, hold on real quick. I got to bounce, fellas. I got some business to take care of.
Okay.
I'm going to catch back in with y'all later, all right?
Okay. Yeah, do your thing, man.
I'm going to holler at y'all.
Yeah. LT.
Yeah, I agree with everything everybody said for the most part. I think the Bears come out on top in this. I don't think it's going to be close, though. I really don't. If it was in New York, right, if it was at the Giants, I would say New York wins because they're a different team at home. But they're 0-5 on the road, and it's not close in the games they're losing. They're getting blown out. So I'm going Giants. Or I'm sorry, I'm going Bears.
I'm gonna go Bears too, man, just to make it. Because I just feel like they got a better team right now. I think they gotta knock them off. LT. Now let me go ahead and go a man with this one first. I'm gonna go back to you on the next one. I think it's a better one. I'm gonna go a man on the Jaguars and the Texans.
Oh yeah, the Jaguars and Texans, man. This is actually a good game. I like this game a lot. I think it's going to be very close. CJ Stroud, I think, isn't playing though, so that makes it like way uglier than it's supposed to be, and I think that's what's going to give Jaguars the big edge on there. But I feel I don't even like Trevor Lawrence. I feel like he's, I never trust him anymore. He throws me sometimes. That's what makes me like I don't want to really bet on the Jaguars, but it's just no CJ Stroud. I don't think there's a way for him. Trevor Lawrence might throw the game, but I still got the Jaguars on that.
LT.
Yeah, Mills is playing at quarterback on Sunday. Davis Mills. I don't even understand how this is only a 1.5 point spread. I really don't. I understand defensively Texans are good and all that, but this is not going to be close. This is Trevor Lawrence versus the Texans defense is what this is going to come down to, and I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence is going to win that battle in this regard because I don't think look, the defense. There comes a point in the game where if you're a defensive person and your offense isn't putting up points, you kind of stop, right? Because your offense isn't carrying their end of the bargain. A lot of those players on defense have that type of personality, that chip on their shoulder type of stuff. That's going to happen in this game at a certain point. All right. It's just that they're not going to, it's going to be ugly on offense. Like they're going to have real problems moving the football against that defense. I think the Jags win this pretty easily. Like I said, I don't understand the 1.5 point spread. That should be like 8.5, something like that at this point, I think. But yeah, that's not going to be pretty.
I'm definitely going to go with the Jags on this one as well too. I mean, if you're going to have CJ playing, that's a big loss. That's huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He took
I already was going to put the other team. So that makes it way worse.
He took a nice hit last game. They got a good defense though. They do have a good defense, but if you can't score, it's going to be a problem. He pretty much was the offense before he got knocked out of the game against us last week. I don't see them being able to really muster up anything against the Jaguars. I mean, offensively, not saying, but I think the Jags may have a little bit for them, not much. This may be a closer game than what we think because, I mean, the Jags aren't really moving the ball that great either. Trevor Lawrence isn't really doing a great job out there, but I'm definitely go ahead and go with the Jags. Is running around real quick to make it official. Man.
Yeah, I got the Jaguars.
LT.
In the Piss Bowl game of the week, I'm going to take the Jaguars.
Yeah,
Absolutely, man. All right, I'm going to start off with you, LT, with this next one right here. We got the Seahawks and we got the Cardinals. Big game, big game.
Seahawks and Cardinals. I don't like talking good about the Seahawks. Right? I don't, especially right now. I'm kind of mad at them. They took one of my favorite players, in Shaheed, which, I think they're going to be pretty much unstoppable on offense at this point because, like I said, they've missed that over-the-top receiver, and I think that's been their biggest downfall in certain games this season, especially against Tampa Bay. I thought that was where they hurt themselves a little bit.
Unstoppable. Is this guy really that good now? I mean, I want to be clear about that.
He's so fast. I'm not, and his hands are just ridiculous. Some of the catches he makes. If you have a competent quarterback, just competent. Take Rattler, for example. Okay. Rattler he's making Rattler look good in a lot of scenarios when that just shouldn't happen. Okay. Now you're going to a quarterback that can actually throw that deep ball with very, very precise accuracy in Darnold, and he is very accurate on the intermediate routes, which is what you're going to see Shaheed run, intermediate to deep. His job is going to be run that guy off, right? And when that happens, that opens up the offense for who else? Right?
Everybody.
At that point. And I'm not even just talking receivers. I'm talking about running backs coming out of the backfield, everything. That offense is about to be, I'm telling you, dude, this is a 30-plus point offense now. It's scary how good they just got just by that one trade. I think they actually won the trade the entire of the NFL, in my opinion, with just that one 100%. Trade. I think that's the biggest trade to me because that's the biggest missing piece that they had, and they filled it immediately with that. So, yeah, I think they're going to win this game. The Cardinals are a crap show anyway. I think their quarterback change is obviously helping them, in recent weeks. They look a lot better with what's his name at quarterback, Brissett, right?
Brissett.
They do look a lot better with him at the helm, in my opinion. Brissett's a guy that's going to be a lot more accurate with passes. He's not going to make stupid ass decisions like Murray does. Murray's going to try and go out there and win the game by himself. Brissett's not going to do that. He's going to get everybody involved. So it's going to be a close game. Don't get me wrong. They're going to score points, right? Brissett's going to move the ball pretty methodically as well. But you're not going to stop the Seahawks now at this point. So I just it's going to be probably a touchdown game at the end, I think, to where, hey, look, they score one last time and have to catch an onside kick or some crap like that, and Seattle wins. I think Seattle wins.
Man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for our team right now, man. Like, because the run game has looked weak, and I thought this was going to be a running team, but it's because there's been so much stopping the run. You know, they really try to stop it. That's what's opened up JSN so much is teams trying to completely shut down our run game because we have these two monsters at running back. And I think adding Shaheed, it just made it so all that underneath play, you know, from JSN, now you can't, like, it's going to be way harder to do it when you have someone 60 yards down. The safeties, what do you can't focus on our run. You can't focus on down there. You have somebody that's going to be 60 yards. He's like a Deshaun Jackson just down there. You know, like, what are you going to do to us? I'm nervous about the game only because our middle linebacker, Ernest Jones, he's questionable right now. His knee got hurt. I think he's the best linebacker in the NFL. I'm gonna keep saying that too, but you know, he's man, I love Ernest Jones. I hope we sit him out. We haven't had a game without it, like, you know, him though, but I think we should sit him out just because it's the Cardinals. And it's like, what can they do to us? But, you know, I think that's what makes it worse. The trade for Shaheed, I love that we made that trade. I think that we also needed to get another offensive lineman because Anthony Bradford is like one of the worst players, like on our like in the NFL on offensive line. You know, like he's just horrible right guard, and you know, but we have players that are on IR right now that could replace him. So you know, there's a lot of things, but man, Sam Darnold, he's going to make a run with Shaheed, and he's like, you know, JSN's going to make a run with
that
Shaheed.
Pumped him up a couple of MVP
man, you know, like he's about to go so crazy. That's and for the price Shaheed was too. Oh my goodness,
that's what I'm mad at.
That's
what I'm mad at.
Yeah, that's the biggest trade of the thing, just because of it wasn't an even trade. It was like a A+ trade for us with like a D, like C minus, C minus D+ for the Saints. Like it was a steal. And you know, the Saints they probably have a lot of love for Shaheed. That's why they threw him our way, you know, because it's an NFC team and everything.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it really was. You know, like because our offensive coordinator isn't that the Saints' old offensive coordinator. I think he used to be. I think we have the Saints' old offensive coordinator right now. So I think they were just like, let's just throw him in this way. I loved it. Of course, I got the Seahawks though. That's what that was all for.
Hated every second.
I mean, Darnold's playing lights out right now. He's killing them, averaging 260 per game. The one thing that kind of gets me is that when they played against when the Seahawks played against the Buccaneers, that was a shootout. That was a shootout. I think that was at home. They played them at home even as well. And that was a shootout. This is not to say Brissett is anything like Baker Mayfield. It's not to say that. But he's been running up some pretty decent yards this year. You know what I mean? That's these last 3 games, I should say.
They're going to move the
he's
ball.
Like 7 touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 3 games. I mean, this is not me to come here and say that I think the Cardinals are going to beat them. But for some reason, like you guys have been saying, a lot of these in division games are just like competitive. They just are. I think it just you know, it brings out that competitive spirit. And Brissett's been playing really good. The Cardinals been playing good, and he's bringing out the best out of his receivers. Now, on the other hand, you got somebody like Sam Darnold, who's really who killing the league right now. You got JSN, who's they know he's getting the ball, and he's still killing everybody. There's nothing you can do to stop him. You know what I mean? The Seahawks have really they've been quiet this year. Like you almost can forget about them if you don't bring them up. You can almost they don't mention them when they're talking about the best teams in the league. And in reality, if you look at their record, they're right there. You know, with everybody else. And now picking up another weapon on offense. That's just another weapon for Darnold to go ahead and drop off a few more touchdowns too. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks on this one right here, man. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and hope that they can actually pull this game off. But let's go ahead and bend the block on this one, man, and see what you guys think. LT.
Yeah, we're going Seahawks.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I also had another point. I think the Bengals have a bye week this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the whole Chase and JSN being like 110, they're like 120 yards apart. Now JSN's about to be like 200 something yards. It's gonna be the same amount of games played. So
even wider.
Now
huh?
we
It's
can't
gonna
say,
get worse.
Now we can't say, oh, JSN is not the best, and that's another thing. Y'all saying JSN is not the best because he wasn't good, like he didn't do this last year, but then say the Colts is one of the best teams in the league, but they didn't do this last year. Like,
I'm not. This is not me saying because he just didn't do it last year. If I got a guy who's done it last year and he's doing it again this year, and he's not that far off, you may have more yards. It's like when Puka Nacua came in the beginning of the year, he had more receptions than anybody. He was killing everybody to begin. That position has like fluctuated, but right now I don't see anybody catching this young boy. I don't see nobody catching JSN unless he goes down with some type of a fluke type of deal, and I won't talk about. But
all it takes is Shaheed getting one deep ball. That's an extra 50 yards a game right there.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
So you saying he has to knock out the champ? He has to knock out the champ with Chase?
No, I mean, what it was, if those guys were not performing this year, I would be like, okay, yeah. I mean, if we're just talking strictly this year, he's having the best year. But for me to call him the best receiver, that'd be like
I think the fact that Chase is as
up.
close as he is right now this year kind of still puts him in the number one spot, in my opinion.
And bigger than that. So say if somebody else just jumped in, say if Cortland Sutton, I know it wouldn't happen, but say he jumped in and had a great year this year. Are we going to say he's the best receiver in the league? I wouldn't.
I'd say this year he was. I'd say this year,
he has the best numbers. That doesn't mean he's the best receiver.
I am saying this year that is the best receiver in the league to me this year. This year,
with the point, if we're talking about stats, he's the best guy this year.
Key situations showing up in games, all that. I get that. Yeah,
it's like when Michael Thomas. It's like Michael Thomas the 1 year, like Michael Thomas that 1 year. He's just,
even Colston down there that 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, what he's gonna be now is like the next couple years, everyone's gonna have to look at him and respect what he's got going on, and we're gonna see who. I believe he's gonna do it no matter what because he's doing it this year no matter what. There's nothing you
I'm
can
waiting
take.
for Cup to be more involved.
I think Cup might be done.
No, I think this is going to open it up a lot, man. I'm telling you, I think Shaheed coming in is going to open it up for a lot of players.
Yeah, us having Torrey Horton too, he's going to be.
If he doesn't perform now, when you have a situation that this is a good situation for him, like him being with Devontae Adams and Nacua, that wasn't good for Cooper. He wasn't going to get that many. But right now, you're number two, and you're not. Yeah, you're not really getting the ball that much because dude's like, I'm throwing the ball to the young boy. He seems to come up with the catch every single time. He's not relying on you for some reason. You should at least be as Wes Welker. You should at least be as Julian Edelman, somebody he can go underneath to who he can pick up that little extra yardage. And he's not throwing the ball to him for some reason. Either you're not open or that little young boy getting open every single time and he believes in him or something. I don't know.
And then another player we got, Nick Emenwari, our safety. He's the best safety in the NFL too. As a rookie, the best in the NFL.
I don't safety in the NFL as a rookie.
Like you look at him, right? Because everybody tries to compare him to Cam Chancellor because of his size, and he's the most athletic safety. I think he's the most athletic defensive player in NFL combine history. All his like speed, height, body fat, everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
That's a huge thing to say, right there. All I can do is listen. I don't know if it's true or not.
He's the most athletic. He's the most athletic in combine history on defense for any defensive player ever.
That's right? So everybody's basically more athletic than Deion Sanders.
I don't think Deion even ran a 40. So Deion didn't really.
He did run the 40. They said he ran the 40, but I think they said he ran the 40, but I don't know if it's true or not. He did say that. He did. What do you say, man? Hey, you froze right now. We're gonna wait till you get back on this, man. You'll be back on in a second. But I think Deion, he did say he ran the 40 and he killed him. But I don't think 40 is everything when it comes to athleticism either, though. It's not just about how fast you are. You know what I mean? It's not just about being speedy at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and run through this next one. I thought our man is going through his technical difficulties. Can you hear us now, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give you that, man. Maybe he can lift the most weights or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe he could do like triple jump or something like that. Real good long jump.
He runs the shuttle fast.
Everything he do. in every single thing. Watch.
That's all we can say right now.
He's Earl Thomas and Cam
I want to know if he's
That's
going
what
to
he
kill
is.
the quarterback or not, or if he's going to
That's
hit
what it
the
boils
receiver
down
as
to.
hard
You
as
feel
possible.
me, man?
He's going to get you an
You know what I mean?
interception, and he's going to hit somebody. He does everything.
I agree with you.
He's the best.
Man. We got the Lions and we got the Commanders, man. Who you sitting on with this one?
Trash. Man, the Commanders got ruined. I feel bad that I even said something about Jane Daniels getting hurt. I knew he was going to get hurt because they keep him.
Can you hear it? What'd you say? You say you knew he was going to get hurt?
I said, I feel bad I even said anything about Jane Daniels. Yeah. Because I knew he was going to get hurt.
That was a horrible injury, bro. That was a ugly injury, man. The way that looked, man, I'm like, I didn't want to watch it. It was horrible, man. But
partially his fault.
Yeah, trying to brace his fall.
They shouldn't have had him play.
No, I was about. There's a couple people I'm gonna blame for that. Coach.
I don't want us to go against. I don't want us to go against the Commanders ever again, man. RG3 got hurt against us, and now this. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is
bad business, man.
Yeah, man. I got the Lions. The Lions are gonna kill them.
LT.
Yeah, I'm upset Jaden was in the game at that point. If I'm a big fan of his, being an LSU guy. But he also should have thrown that ball away instead of trying to run it right there too, in my opinion. Or tried to catch that guy going across the middle in the back of the end zone. If you really watch the play a couple of times, I think he tries to do too much, and that was kind of my point at the beginning of the season. I know he's not playing, obviously, but I kind of wanted to go into it for a second. He's that guy that's very, very athletic, kind of like we've been talking about, right? He's a very athletic player. He likes to use his feet. He likes to get involved in the play. He likes to extend. That's what makes him so successful. People have learned that about him. They have film on how he responds to certain tendencies as far as, linebacker blitzes, corner blitzes, safety blitz. Every blitz package you bring now, people have film on his reactions to all of it. They're always the same. He just tries to buy time by stretching it to the outside. He never really steps up. He goes to the outside and tries to buy it that way. Teams are getting onto that, and that's a big reason that he got hurt, in my opinion, is because he tried to outstand the play a lot longer than it should have been. He shouldn't have been in the game, but I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
I like the kid. I hope he does well. Hey, speedy recovery, man. Hope he get back soon. Not going to be a good game in any form. Look, if there's any Commanders fans out there, I apologize to you because it's about to get real ugly for the rest of this season. Your team is not good, and it has been absolutely shown in the last couple of weeks. Not even just this season. I think in the last couple of weeks specific, they've been. You can see the real Commanders, right? Who they really are on defense, offensive line. They have real trouble on the lines, both sides of the ball. At this point, I think their safeties are a little bit in trouble too. They look very, very late responding to plays. They're playing a team that can throw the ball all over the field this week, whether it be out of the backfield, deep. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the league in golf, who's severely underrated for some odd reason. I think the Lions are still one of the best teams in the league, even though they have 3 losses. I think they're in the upper echelon of the league. I don't trust them when it comes to big game scenarios, right, of winning those. But to get there, I think they're going to do it, right? Getting there, they're not going to have a problem. It's winning that big game. I don't think that's going to happen. But Goff's going to get you there. He's only throwing 3 interceptions. Commanders ain't going to get any this week either. So Goff easy on this one. I think the Lions handily win this.
I think the Lions win too, but I mean, they really showed me a lot last week against the Vikings, man. It did. I mean, come on, man. You guys let a guy who threw for 140 whatever yards beat you. I mean, and you're supposed to be. I mean, it just, to me, man, they're not showing. This is the second year in a row they've shown. Everyone thought they were something, and now you're kind of getting to the point to where last year you at least had the 0 losses, then 1 loss for a long time. You took it deep. Right now you're 3 losses deep, 8 weeks, 9 weeks in. Maybe this was we going into week 10 now. You know what I mean? You're already 3 losses deep. I mean, you have 2 star-studded running backs.
Yeah, we're halfway. We still don't know exactly what you are yet.
Yeah, and I look at them like, of course I think you're going to beat this team because they're depleted. You should beat them, but you can't. You're not beating the teams that you're supposed to be beating up on. To me, you know what I mean? Like, you should be beating the Vikings. You're supposed to be that elite team, and they're. I can't put them in the upper echelon of their. I just can't. Not with the way they're playing. I would like to. I was hoping if they would have won last week, we wouldn't have even questioned who they are. But right now, I have to question who you are because I don't see it showing out on the field, man. I said you guys got ran last week, so I'm gonna go ahead and spin it around the horn. Man,
I got the Lions. I don't think, Commanders is done.
Yeah. LT.
It's gonna be ugly very quickly. Lions.
All right, we got the Rams and we got the 49ers. I'm going to start with you, LT.
Really impressed with the 49ers last week with their performance. I know they played the Giants, but I was pretty impressed with them, man. And I know we haven't given them a lot of credit where credit's due as far as how they've come along this season, being as injured as they are. Like, obviously we haven't even seen this team at 100% yet, and they're 6-3, and they're in the upper echelon already. So how scary are they going to be when they get some of these players back, right? Can they stay up there, though, and keep track with Seattle at this point? I don't think they can now that Seattle has that piece. That was a major piece that Seattle just got, man. That really took them to the top of the division. And for me, that's saying a lot. So, and man knows that. Yeah. So, that's a big deal getting that. So the 49ers really, I feel like they have to win this game in a way. But I don't think they are. I think the Rams are hitting on every cylinder right now, okay? Stafford is unreal. Probably, and I'll say it, I think he is the most underrated quarterback in the game today because of who he was with for so long in a non-winner in Detroit. I mean, they only went to the playoffs, twice? And I think he lost to the Saints. So it's just he's never really had that chance to shine, but he's done it ever since he's been here. I don't understand why he doesn't get the respect still to this day. It's crazy to me. I think they're probably, if not top 3 team in the NFC at this point. As far as total, I think they're right there with Seattle. I think you could probably flip a coin between those two right now, but where they're going to be by the end of the season, I think Seattle will pass them. I think the Rams win this. They should win it. They're on paper in this game. I think even if they're fully healthy, the 49ers would have a little bit of trouble hanging with this team right now. Offensively, they are a juggernaut. Stafford only has 2 interceptions on the season. That's incredible with as many times as they throw the football and how many and where they throw it. So that's scary how good he's playing right now. MVP level, I'm going them.
I agree. Man,
I don't like neither one of these teams.
Division.
I'm just like, it's like 49ers. I don't care. They're not a good team. They aren't impressive at all. Like in the beginning, they were healthy. In the beginning, they were healthy, all of their players. So now that they're injured, they coach right now. That's the only thing I'm impressed with. They coach has been holding it down for them, because their team is trash. The whole defense is gutted. And they're not going to get better. Like they're all out for the season. Yeah. All their best players on the defense. The offense is like, okay, how long could that keep up? McCaffrey being top 10 in receiving yards is crazy. At running back, top 10 in receiving yards. That team, their coach is keeping them into this season. And I think that's the best thing about them. The Rams, I really don't want the Rams to win this game. They the only team that scare me in this league right now. Like but
you're a realist.
Yeah, man. I'm just, me, man. I just gotta I gotta tell the truth. I gotta be real every time. The Rams is the only team that scares me because Matthew Stafford he gonna like all of our DBs, like even the rookie safety. I said we got rookie safety. Devin Witherspoon's young. Tariq Williams young. I'm like, man, if he dime us up like that, he's gonna make us look like a bunch of young kids, like our team's very young and he's going to make us look young. They front 7 on their defense is very nice. Decent DBs and everything, but I want the Niners to win for our sake, but the Rams, man, that's a dog of a team right there. I got the Rams.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with y'all. I like the Rams on this one too, man. Last year, ever since last year, I would say they were losing at the beginning of the year. They were losing. They were a team that people were written off at the whole nine. But ever since I would say maybe halfway through the year, a little bit before that, they just took off and they've been running hard ever since. And they made some good decisions this year to bring in Devontae Adams and everybody else who they brought in. And I can't look at that team as they're 6-2. What do you say about that? Until someone dethrones them. If the Niners were healthy, it'd be a great game coming up. I'd be like, this is going to be a great game. But they're just not healthy, and there's not going to be a lot they're going to be able to do against a team like this. So I'm going to go Rams. We'll go ahead and run this around. LT.
Rams.
Man.
Rams. Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more left, y'all. We got the Steelers and we got the Chargers. I'm going to go ahead and start off with you, man.
Steelers and Chargers. Both of these teams are so random if they're going to show up or not, The Steelers team, I always love their defense. Their defense looks terrible every week. I feel like that defense is not looking good. Like, I seen Jalen Ramsey, he's going to be moved to safety. They just traded for a safety from the Patriots. And I'm like, like their team, they're trying to find out where their defense is good. The offense is looking like regular. Like they just looking like a middle of the pack offense. They're Steelers, everything they're supposed to excel at, they're not. And then everything they're supposed to be decent at, they're just regular. The Chargers team, all depends on Herbert. Herbert, he's either going to win the game or he's going to try to get as much stats as possible. I don't like neither one of these teams right now. I'm mad at both of them. But I will say though, I hope DK goes crazy. So I got the Steelers if I had to choose one. But I don't like this game.
LT.
Yeah, you know what? The Steelers are going on the road, and they're playing a Chargers team that is they're okay, right? I think these two teams are one of those two teams that you're going to put in the okay bubble at the end of the season, saying we probably should have been better than we were, right? Chargers, in my opinion, just have a quarterback that's playing really well at certain times, but then he has these crazy games to where he looks like David Mills. So it's just, what game are you going to get? He's playing at home. It's a primetime game. I feel like he really shows up when it's a primetime game typically, and so does Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the Steelers are going to have a lot of trouble containing the weapons of the Chargers. Okay, I trust the offense a lot more of the Chargers than I do the Steelers. The Steelers can't finish a drive to save their life. Okay, they kicked, I don't know how many 20-something yard field goals this season, but it has to be some kind of damn record in the NFL. Like, it has to be. Boswell has to have the most field goals right now possible because it's 100%. Insane how many times they get stuffed. The Chargers are going to finish drives. The Steelers are going to have trouble containing them. I think the Chargers are going to finish more drives. I think you're going to see the same thing from the Steelers. They have no trouble moving the football. They're very good offensively. It's like I was telling you before the show, Wes. I feel like their age catches up to them at a certain point offensively, because you have older veteran players. Once they get in that tight space, it's a little harder to create space because you're not as quick as some of these younger cats that are playing defense on most of these teams. I think that's a lot of trouble with what they're going through, and it's really going to catch up before the end of this season and really hurt them, whether it be missing the playoffs, missing some kind of huge play at the end of the season, whatever the case is. Look, they just can't finish a drive. If they could, I would say they're going to win this game, but they can't. So I just don't trust them at all. I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, that's a tough game for me right here because I personally don't think Herbert's been playing really well this year. I think he's been the cause of some of their losses. You know what I mean, ups and downs. And at the same time though, the Steelers defense has not really played very well. I think they're averaging people are averaging 30 points against something like that. It's been bad.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, something that's not normal. Maybe it's came down a little bit with the last one they just had when they only gave up 20. But like you said, Aaron Rodgers, they're not completing drives. They're kicking field goals. So I'm gonna have to give the edge to the Chargers simply because they're at home. And I think that Harbaugh's going to come out with some type of a game plan that's going to help his team to inch themselves to the victory. But let's go ahead and spin the block on this one, LT.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers, 100%.
Man.
Yeah, I got the Steelers for this one, but it's going to be a good game, but who knows with the Steelers defense?
It's a flip.
Yeah,
I get it.
The last game of the Monday night game, we got the Eagles and we got the Packers, man. LT, man, what do we got for this Monday night game?
This has the potential to be an absolute snooze fest, okay? Because after watching last week, the Packers are gross offensively sometimes, and I mean just abysmal at times. Last week they got really just dominated by the front of Carolina, and Carolina's not good. Okay, I wouldn't put them in any case good. So unless you're talking about the running back, then we're talking great, right? Other than that, you're talking just good. The Eagles are the better team, in my opinion, top to bottom. Quarterback play, what are you going to get? Love looked terrible last week, and I mean almost pee-wee level. That was awful, the throws that he was making. Like you were saying before the show, Wes, it was like he was throwing them up and just asking for prayers.
Yeah, it was
crazy. What it looked like. It was awful, crazy. Man. If you see that type of, I don't think it's going to happen to where you see that same team come out. I think you see a much different Packers team this week. They're playing at home, and that crowd is ruthless. This is a game where you see two very ruthless fan bases. They will not take mediocrity at these places lightly. The same thing. Look, the Packers fans are going to come out, and they're not going to put up with this shit 2 weeks in a row. Okay, otherwise people are going to start talking. That's how this shit works, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are going to come out different. They're going to have a lot more success on offense. They're going to move the ball. I think the Eagles are going to have trouble guarding a lot of the weapons of Green Bay. I know it's not as big names, but they've had real easy time creating success and getting space and getting wide open space on intermediate routes. I think that's where their domination comes from most of the time with Love. I think that's where his bread and butter is, the intermediate routes. Not short, not long, just intermediate, nice and easy, methodical drives down the field. Doesn't need to buy time, just hit the open receiver, let's move, right? Mm-hmm. If he tries to go out of that comfort zone, though, they can get killed in this game very quickly because the Eagles are not going to have trouble moving the football at all. And I think that's going to be the difference in this game is the fact that Green Bay, look, Packers are not going to be able to stop them at any point. I don't care if Hurts has a C game. They're not going to be able to stop them, okay? So the Eagles win this game, and I think the fact that Green Bay is a 2.5-point favorite is gross.
Man,
I other than the Seahawks, because we only made one acquisition, for this thing, the Eagles made some moves, man. Like that team, I know Jair Alexander, he looks terrible this year, so it's not much of a mood. But picking up Michael Carter Jr., that's a nice player because that's going to be their third cornerback. He's not nothing special, but man, it just opens up way more when you add two nice depth players. Oh, yeah. They picked up Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. That's another good edge rusher. I think they got Brandon Graham back. Their team, they picked up a lot of little things on their defense, which is, what looks faulty at times. All of those pieces that they're throwing in, it just shows you they're scrambling to make a team to win now, and I love that they didn't push on the AJ Brown trade. I'm glad he didn't get traded, which, I didn't think they were going to, but it was just he always saying he wants to be traded. And then, I'm glad they got to manage his, his ego a little bit, just be no.
Call it what it is.
Yeah. It's he's like DK a little bit, but crazier. I think he's on steroids, but, the Eagles, they're a better team now, than they were yesterday.
Yeah.
And so I think the Packers is going to have trouble in time. They look ugly. I think the game's going to be, the game's going to be a big game. I think it's going to be, Packers might throw in, it's, Jair Alexander, he's going to be playing against them, so maybe it's going to be
that play's going to be rocking.
So it's he gets to go back to his plays. But man, I got the Eagles because their team is better and that offense has to start going crazy.
Yeah.
I was really big on Jordan Love before this game. To me, it looked shocking how bad he looked. He had at least two passes where they couldn't move the ball. They just seemed to couldn't do anything against this team. They're acting like Carolina was like the iron curtain. You know what I mean? It was crazy to me. I couldn't believe it, man.
Legitimately, what
I mean? I was like, what is he doing? Didn't even just throw the ball down the field. He just somebody please catch it. Like you got Randy Moss out there and you don't have a receiver like that. To me, that was to me was the most shocking part about everything. I'm like, I couldn't believe that they beat that team like that. I thought the Packers were much better. They're no longer an upper echelon team to me. It's the same way I got to do them the same way I do the Detroit Lions. There's no way I can give you that status when you're getting beat up on by a 5-4 team that nobody thought would be 5-4 at this time. You know what I mean? And you guys just spent a bunch of money on a pass edge rusher. and it's not working out for you. You probably should spend some money on some good receivers. That's what you probably should have did. You know what I mean? But like I said, I mean, the Eagles, they're looking like they're starting to kind of catch their second breath at this point, our second win. And you know, they're on the right track right now. I'm definitely have to go with the Eagles on this one, but let's go ahead and go around the horn. LT.
Yeah, Eagles in the upset, I guess, of the week. I don't understand that.
Man.
Yeah, I got the Eagles, man. That's a bigger team.
I'm definitely going with the Eagles as well. I know you guys wanted to talk a little bit about, just real quickly, if you guys want to go ahead and go through some of these trades that happened. I don't know if we can run through those really quickly. Like I said, I'm not privy to all of them like you guys are, so I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and dig into that a little bit. You guys talk about some of these trades that happened.
Well, real quick, I know VZ's not here, but I did want to mention the Cowboys and Titans might be the first team ever to lose to the bye week, so that's impressive. Really awesome job by those two right there. We had some big trades, man. Massive, big trades over this week. I know Man wants to talk about the big one, how that helps and how big of a trade that was. So I'll let him get into that one.
That's the best. I think that's the biggest win of a trade. It's not the biggest trade. It's just the biggest win of a trade because, you know, every other team, it was like, you know, I could see why they made that trade. Our trade was just so beautifully done because we could have went for something, you know, like we could have went stronger for something else, but we went so a fourth and a fifth round pick for Shaheed. They undervalued him with that trade. I mean, like I get, like, you know, he's not a superstar player, you know, it's not like he's a top of his position player, but it's just.
I think the only reason they won it, though, and the reason they didn't get, I think the reason the Saints didn't get as much as I feel like he really is valued at is because he's not considered the number one, not even the number two on that team, which is stupid in my opinion, because he's a number one or number two receiver, period, on the majority of teams he plays for. But like I said, having his speed on that team, adding his catching ability, that's a whole nother thing that you guys just didn't have.
Our offense isn't our offense anymore. We have a completely new offense now because of that. Like every single threat that people were trying to nullify before, now they have to nullify something else. So like,
I think your run game's going to actually wake up, which is scary because that hadn't even happened yet. And look how good y'all are. So I think this could be a Seahawks year to where and look back on this too, because look back on this trade. If they end up going to the Super Bowl or something like that, this is the trade that made that possible. Dead serious when I say it, because I did not consider them an upper echelon until this trade happened because of how much that opened up.
That's what throws me off. That's why when y'all every single time y'all say, "Oh, the best teams in the league," I said Broncos. You saying all these teams? I'm like, is they just don't remember the Seahawks at all? I'm like, we look like monsters every week.
It's only because y'all are missing that, and I kept saying that too. I've told you before that they're missing that over the top presence, man. That's done. Like that, now that you fill that up, you can't sit back. You can't you can't do certain things with the defense that everybody was doing to y'all before, and y'all were still carving people up. But now there's no cheat code against y'all whatsoever. That opens up the run game specific now at this point, and I feel like now you're kind of going to see that transition of how the offense has been carried by the passing game. It's going to transition into that nice play action game that you guys are so good at.
Now the defense can take breaks.
Yep. You guys might actually have the hardest division in football right now. Yeah. Keep it real, like your division. It's just the way it's looking. I can't say that the Niners are right because of how depleted they are, but their record, they still have a record of a team that is formidable. They be number one in some divisions. So that you got to give them that respect as well. I know that the Jets pretty much gave away the house. You guys want to touch on that?
I mean, we can. Yeah, I think the Sauce Gardner trade was huge. I think that immediately a team that was already good and really didn't need an addition, in my opinion, became better. By doing so. I think the Colts easily won that one, in my opinion, too. I know the Jets get something back for it. That's all good and well for the future, I guess. That's a dumpster fire for another story, I'm sure. But that's going to take years to fix that franchise, period, not just a couple of trades. That's years that needs to be involved. That's more of an organizational issue, I feel like, over there. But Sauce is going to a much better scenario. I know that we've kind of given him hell over this season because of the plays that have happened. Not necessarily his totality of play, period, because I think he's played well overall, especially statistically, if you look at him, right? It's the big play ability that has been going against him this season. He's not going to have that problem playing on the Colts. Like he has that guy on opposite of him. He has backup now to where he can play bump and run. You can't do that on the Jets. Like you can't play as free as he wants to play, like the ball hawk that he is, right? That's what he is. Now he can play to his actual game plan, and I think that's going to be killer for him. But like I said, it's scary. That team was already good. This put them to the next level.
Super, man. Yeah, that trade right there. Because at first I'm like 2 firsts for him is like that's a great pick. Like, you know, not that those draft classes are gonna be good. Like, I mean, like I feel like this year and next year's draft class isn't gonna be like crazy, but
next year will be better than this year, I think.
Yeah, you know. So I'm like, you know, like the Jets. I don't think it was a big. I think it was a good trade for the Jets. I think the Jets. Man, you know how many times I done bet on the Jets this week or this season because I thought
they gotta win one.
I'm like, oh man, Sauce Gardner. I'm like, Sauce Gardner. He's a star. Like he's a star. What is he doing?
Yeah.
He's been terrible all year, but I mean, like he has been good, but it's just like not what he was supposed to be. Like I look at Sauce like a top player. Like he was at the same time as Tariq Woolen. Man, I was like, these are supposed to be the dogs, you know, but they both looking faulty. But Sauce being on that team right there. That just made them a dangerous defense because they have a good D line. They got good linebackers. Their cornerbacks were already deadly. And then you add him, like, that's a flawless defense. Yeah. That's why VZ was saying, you know, they looking like the best defense, you know, in the NFL. I think the top 3, you know, I give it to the Bills and I give it to the Seahawks too. But they looking like monsters though, because that team, that's a scary team right there. I think the 2 firsts though, that's a lot. The Colts that went all in on Daniel Jones for that one. They went all in.
I mean, they probably feel that way. You know, you gotta look at. I mean, we won't bring up Dallas because VZ's not here to talk about them, but I think they did well this week too by picking up a linebacker, defensive tackle as well too. I think they came in. They really tried. Too little, too late, maybe, but they tried. You know, they shot their shot. Maybe for next year, who's to say? But you know, any other trades you guys want to talk about? Or
I thought the Eagles won. I thought the Eagles came out on top defensively, especially, which is kind of surprising because defensively they really didn't need a whole hell of a lot of help, but they still got better. I'm telling you, it's kind of impressive. Some of the GMs in this that won some of their trades showed you how much better they are than a lot of these other guys. Right, like in New Orleans, I'll give a prime example with Mickey Loomis. Like the guy has been and done amazing things in New Orleans, right, for the Saints. He's been with us since 2002. Won us a Super Bowl, brought everybody in, drew all those guys, right, made a super team as far as a franchise. But I feel like he's kind of been outgrown at this point, right? The game maybe passes you by at a certain point, and if you're not willing to change or adapt, right? And I don't think he's really adapted with the way that people are making the actual teams now, right? And how they're structuring their programs. So I think when you're dealing with teams like that, and it's happening all over the league, right? You can see it everywhere, the difference between a lot of these GM minds. I think the Eagles have a genius the way that he does it. I think obviously the Colts have a genius as well. There's just certain teams out there, I think, that are at the next level. Denver, another team with a football mind, and I think that adds a lot of relativity to that situation. So like I said, man, I think you just have a big deal with GMs in the league right now, and I think a lot of them came out on top. Some of them look like absolute goofballs, you know, and I think New Orleans was one of those. Seattle, I think, has a genius. Chicago did okay. The Ravens did all right. Tennessee is another shocker to me that they didn't sell as much as I thought they would. Normally, if you're a bottom dweller like that, you're fire selling a little bit that you can kind of afford to get rid of. Right?
You think they're trying to keep them? You think they're trying to keep some continuity with Cam around, like trying to keep it so that's possible?
I thought about that because I do think that's a good reason to do it. If you thought there was a future with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And they're just not there. Like if I thought the talent was there with some of their players to be able to do it and perform starting next year, maybe 2. This is another team that it's going to take more than 1 to 2 years, obviously,
absolutely,
to actually do because they don't have the players in any position except quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, and who's to say if they really got the guy there just thus far? He's playing, but I mean, you're playing. That's just pretty much what you're doing. Okay, okay, and go ahead.
Some of these teams, man, like I think should be really disappointed. Like their players should be very disappointed that they didn't make any moves because, man, the Bengals should have been looking for some defense and they ended up trading some defense. Like the Bengals
crazy
after what Jamar Chase and everyone was saying. Like, you guys see those interviews of Jamar and everybody? They're talking a lot of bad things about that defense, and then you see. That's like, you think they would have made a splash play. You see the Jets trading their defense. We not going to make a move on Sauce Gardner or Quinn Williams? Like, that would have been huge for him, man. Like, there's so like Dolphins traded Jalen Phillips to the Eagles for a 3rd round pick. You're not going to jump on that. Bengals didn't jump on that. Like, there's a lot of things right there that the Bengals, the Giants, I feel like should have made some moves. A couple teams really passed up on too much, and it should hurt everybody's feelings.
There were some golden gooses, man, that I feel like just didn't get touched. Like Hall for the Jets.
Yes,
that's insane to me that he's even still there.
Somebody should have got him. 3rd round
I think
pick,
that's the biggest miss of this entire trade deadline at this point, as far as him not being there. Like he should have been gone already. Period, man. I don't even care who it went to. That there is a contender that was missing that spot. I promise you. Around this league that you can look at. I mean, you could name pretty much any top team, and I could tell you he makes them better immediately.
Even us. I was like, we have 2 good running backs. I'm like, man, we would have fucking went crazy with Breece Hall. Yeah. Like, we don't even need him. But I'm like, man, the Niners could have went crazy with Breece Hall. I'm like, there's anyone like, man,
shit, have him go to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers could have got that dude and been unreal. Like, that's the one. I thought he was going to the Bucs. I really did. I was like, man, that's the perfect fit.
Pick up for him.
They can actually have a run game now. Oh my goodness, they would go to the next level, right? Yeah. Didn't even look at it. Like, it's surprising to me some of the misses.
Giants. I thought the Giants were going to try to get a thunder and lightning going with it. There's a lot of teams that didn't make a move that should have just pulled some, man. Waddle should have been traded. I wanted Waddle to be traded to somebody so bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot
but that New York team, I will say this with the Jets. I know it's a dumpster fire, but that coach isn't bad. That coach is not bad. I don't really mind. Yeah, I don't mind him very much, man. I think he does an okay job.
I was about to say.
Yeah. I know, and I'm not saying, but look at his team, bro. His team on every level is bottom 3 player in the league.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I don't think so, man.
They might not allow him to. They might not allow him to make it to next year. That's what I'm thinking, man.
Garrett Wilson's okay, but I wouldn't put him on superstar level. I'm sorry, like it's just not happening.
Garrett Wilson is like
no.
Man, Garrett Wilson. He should have been traded too. I wish he got traded.
He's a number 3 on any other team.
He probably wish he got traded right now.
He's had a 1,000-yard season like every year of his career.
He's the only person there. Like,
man, that's crazy. You playing?
If he came to Seattle, you think he'd be a number 1 or number 2?
He'd be number 2, but he'd be a monster.
You think he'd be number 2?
He'd be number 2. For sure.
Right now.
You think Shaheed is better than Garrett Wilson?
Shaheed's better than Garrett Wilson.
What? No. Garrett Wilson is a 1,000-yard receiver every year.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. I understand.
Deadly
with I mean, who's been his quarterbacks really? That he's had to be in a situation to even get 1,000 yards. He's had Anthony Richardson. We know he's had him. He had Flacco. Who else have they had up there? And that
What's
he's
that other
really
kid's
played
name
with.
From BYU. Is that the other quarterback that was over there for a minute?
After Rodgers got hurt, what was it? Who was the
Darnold was there for a minute, but I don't know if he was there when Darnold. I don't know how many years he's been in the league.
I think it was Jones.
Terrible.
One of them. I mean, he hasn't had anybody who's really been performing. So you can that's pretty much comparable to the Saints. Then when you look at it as far as who he's had a quality of quarterback, he's come out with 1,000 yards. Another kid hasn't. We're gonna have to see what that other kid's about. Because I haven't really heard too much about the guy you guys talking about went to Seattle.
You got to watch film on Shaheed, man. I'll send you some stuff because this kid is his speed is going to change everything about that offense. I'm actually excited about it because obviously I live up here now, so I don't mind it because I'm a huge fan of that guy. I get a chance to watch him in person now. I actually hated the Seahawks before this trade. Now Now I kind of hope they win just so that I can rub it in everybody's face back home and say, well, we traded him. I told you he was that dude. You know, that's
and
what
with
I
that,
want to say.
we'll call it a night, man. This has been Plays and Parlays. I am your host, Wesley, along with my co-host, the Guru LT, and the man. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Peace.